Hello. Andrew, say hello.
Hello, I'm
There you
Andy
go.
Burton. I'm one of the founding club members back in 2015, and we were amongst the first to go hybrid as soon as the ruling came through. So welcome everybody.
Fabulous. Thank you, Andrew. Antoinette, say hello.
Everyone. My name's Antoinette. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm a guest. I am also a Toastmaster, but I don't have a club currently, so I'm just checking out other clubs.
Excellent. Well, we think you'll enjoy this one. We hope so anyway. So welcome from Toronto. Christine.
Thank you very much. I'm also from Toronto. I'm a friend of Tony's. So we were both in a club that didn't survive post-COVID online. So we were both just searching and happy to attend. Looking forward to tonight.
Fabulous. Thanks for joining us. Sylvia, say hello.
Hello, I'm Sylvia. I'm new in the country, so I trying to join a club to improve my public speaking.
Fabulous. Well, I hope you enjoy this evening. And Jayendra.
Good evening, everyone, or good morning in my case. I'm Jendran. I'm from India. I'm currently looking for a club to join. I have been a Toastmaster for the past 4 years already, and even though currently I'm not a Toastmaster, I am planning to join one that would fit my schedule.
Fabulous. Well, we hope that we can be of some assistance to you. And Samuel, say hello.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Sam Irwin. I live in Orlando, Florida. This is my second Toastmaster meeting with this group. Enjoy the first.
Thank you very much for coming along. Okay, that's done the official
One
bit.
quick addition for Samuel. Thank you so much for requesting to do your prospective member speech. And he is signed up. He will be signed up in a moment for the 25th. So yay.
Yay, yay, yay.
You're
Welcome.
welcome to
Welcome. Well, no, that's
And
okay.
there's Joni. Joni showed up.
Yay. Joni, do you want to do the Sergeant at Arms bit, or do you want to do your Sergeant at Arms bit, or should we leave that to Carolina?
Leave that to Carolina. I'm so sorry, daylight savings time reared its ugly head. I forgot it's 6:45.
I knew it had happened to at least one of our members. Okay, Carolina, if you can do the Sergeant at Arms bit and all that stuff, that'd be great.
Welcome, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This meeting of online presenters has now begun. Guests, please note that in order to be a member of our club, you must be a current or former active member of Toastmasters International and have completed at least 6 Toastmasters official speeches, or alternatively, if you have substantial relevant presentation experience, you may apply for membership after demonstrating your abilities in a 2 to 3 minute speech delivered during one of our club meetings. All requests for membership are subject to approval by the members of our club. If you have not already done so, please change your panel to ensure it shows your name and role. If you have one, right-click and select Rename to do so. We have members and guests from many countries throughout the world. Thus, as a professional organization, we ask that you please be aware of language or word usage that may be considered offensive or otherwise insensitive due to cultural differences. Please note that we will be recording the meeting. Your video and audio contribution may be used for club marketing purposes. Also, please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Please welcome our club President Graham Kearns.
Thank you, Carolina. I'm actually standing in for the club president today because the club president is off doing something else. I'm probably cruising, who knows. But anyway, David's not here. I'm the Vice President Education. I would like to formally welcome all of the guests here today, and it is really good to see so many here today. And of course, I want to welcome all of our members, because members are what Toastmasters is all about. I'm really looking forward to today's meeting, but we do have a relatively full schedule, only a couple of speakers, but we'll probably fill that with some really good table topics. let me hand control of the meeting to the one, the only. Don't swoon. She is only human, believe it or not. But here is our Toastmaster for today. Please welcome DTM Johnny Laidlaw. Yay, Johnny.
Life is about perspective, and I can guarantee that in about 1 minute, I'm going to disappear because though I was early, because it is 6:45, something called daylight savings time happened, and just like that, I wasn't ready. So what I'm going to do is if I fall off, I'm going to ask my functionaries to introduce themselves, starting with our counter.
I'm not entirely sure that we have an R counter for this meeting. Does anyone wish to volunteer to be R counter for today?
Samuel, would you like to count off for me today?
Sorry, I had to unmute. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you repeat?
Would you like to be our all counter for today?
I'm not sure. This is my second time here, so you maybe have to fill me in how to do that function.
You will note all the ums, ahs, and notable phrases. And Graham, could you explain the all counter role? Because I'm convinced I'm going to go any second now.
No problems. The R counter is basically we all use filler words, and we put in pauses and breaks, and they can be distracting. So if you can just keep an eye on who's doing it, but be gentle because we're nice people.
Yep.
If we do really well, then tell us we did really well. If we didn't do so well, just say, maybe we should look at. So if you could do that, that would be fabulous. Thank you for that, Samuel.
Yep, will do.
All right. Now.
Thank you so much for that, Graham. The next functionary that I may be impromptu, by the way, why I was early in my own mind by an entire hour, fill in for today is our grammarian. The grammarian I'm seeing on my agenda as an available role. So who wants to volunteer? The word of the day today is perspective. Kim.
I'd be happy to take on the role of grammarian. And for those guests, the role of grammarian is I just listen for the word of the day, as well as just some really cool examples of use of the English language. And back to you, Joni. And what was that word of the day?
It is perspective, what life is all about. I could be failing miserably, or I could be learning how to roll with the punches of what life brings you when you get hit with daylight savings time. See, I even used it in a sentence. The next role that will be filled is our timer. And for our timer, I know that that role was taken by Andriy Smolenko. Andriy, could you introduce your role for me, please?
Andrew's not here.
Andrea isn't here. Anyone want to take on timer? Anyone got the timing cards?
I don't have them, but I can come up with it. Sure, I'll be timer.
Look,
And I can be the timer, but I need someone to take my time.
While you're doing the speech. Andy, would you be able to jump in as timer? I know you have your timing cards.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Andy will jump in as our timer today. Whenever you're ready, you can demonstrate how you will be showing the time.
Okay. All right. I'll have to bring
And
up
can you
my
make me
cards,
co-host while you're at it?
Excuse me?
And can you make me co-host on the meeting while you're at it?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Okay, co-host. Co-host. Okay, so the co-host part is done.
Wonderful.
And for timing, folks, there are 3 segments to this meeting. One is prepared speeches, unless it's an icebreaker, which is 4 to 6 minutes. The usual project is 5 to 7 minutes. Green is at 5. Sorry, green is at 5, yellow is at 6, and red is at 7. For table topics, it's 1 to 2 minutes, where green is 1 minute, yellow is 1:30, and 2 minutes is red. And lastly is evaluations is 2 to 3 minutes, where 2 is green and 2.5 is yellow, and 3 is red. That's it.
Excellent.
Back to you.
Thank you, Andy. And it's the other me that needs to be co-host. There are two of me on, and there are two of me on for a very specific reason. So can you make the other me co-host?
Yellow. Okay, so what is it? You want
The other me as well. There's another me.
there's you and mini you?
There is me, and there is what's happening in the recesses of my mind so I can share the perspective.
Okay, so all right.
I have put the raise hand feature. All right, let me put the raise hand feature on it. Okay, there you go. Wonderful. Thank you, Andy. Our next role will actually also be a role that I may have to ask to be filled, but I know Carolina always does it. She can fill in as our vote counter for today. So Carolina, could you just explain what the vote counter does for me?
I will count the votes for your favorite speaker, your favorite impromptu speaker, and your favorite evaluator. And for that duty, I will put a link in the chat, and you will vote for your favorite in that link. Click in that link. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you so much for that, Carolina. Now, at Online Presenters, we have a very special way of doing our meeting. We have a tip of the day. Now, there is no tip of the day. And you know what? I think that was deliberate so that I could get the opportunity to be able to do this. Today was quite hectic for me, and I came on, I was early. I was gonna get my agenda done. I came on 15 minutes earlier than the time I normally come in to make sure I got set up. However, daylight savings time occurred. And what happened? It turned out I came on exactly at the time I was supposed to be here. But we always have the option in things that we can either look at it as, you know what, it should have been done this way. I can't go on, I can't continue. Or we can actually look at it in a completely different perspective, which is get caffeinated, take a deep breath, and try to get everyone to forget what you did by playing a fun game. Now, for the next 2 minutes, we are going to be doing our perspectives. Now, I'm going to ask everyone to look and tell me, what do you see? You get the opportunity to unmute this time. Put it in the chat, unmute, tell me, what do you see?
I first see a young woman looking away from us, although I also see
an old lady. I see Carolina saying the old lady. Anybody else see anything else?
I see a drawing.
I know I'm supposed to see both a young lady and an old lady, but I never see the old lady. So if someone can point out the old lady, it'll help me.
Thank you. Thank you, Samuel. You just hit the nail on the head. I've given this a million times. Somebody drew this diagram. They showed me the old lady, and every time I look at it, I cannot see her at all. But I heard Jim with a unique perspective. So Jim, what did you say? And I know you might have been being facetious, but I want to hear the other one. It might be there. You never know.
I see lines. I see drawings.
You know what? And that is there. And it's a very unique perspective and actually not incorrect. All right, we're going to do one more.
Saxophone player.
Yeah, and then a lady's face.
Saxophone player and a lady's face. All right, so now we're going to take it to another level based on your perspective. Who cannot see the saxophone player? Raise your hand. Say me. All right. Who cannot see the lady's face? All right, everybody sees it. Who did not see it until somebody said it? Jim didn't see it.
I saw it as somebody said it. I knew what I was having to do, but I didn't actually see it until, as somebody said, a lady's face, I saw the eyes and then thought, ah, yes.
Beautiful. That's the thing about perspective. Sometimes we can see things the way they should be. Sometimes we need other people to tell us that it exists. And sometimes, even after we do hear, it still just does not register. And that is why it's always important to always, in every case, no matter what it is, keep an open mind. Sometimes it might change your perspective. Sometimes it might just let you know that there is another perspective out there that you will not understand or be able to see. And my last tip of the day, have an alarm for daylight savings time. You lose an hour. I would say back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, but I do believe.
Hey, Joni,
Yes.
you aware
Hi,
that
Andy.
there are 2 states that don't switch back and forth? Do you know
Hawaii
which
Yes.
states they are?
Arizona, I believe,
and
is
Hawaii.
one,
And Hawaii. You got
Hawaii.
them.
There you go. So if I ever moved there, I would have to go to Arizona, and I heard it's hot, so
Yeah.
terribly hot. All right. Now we are going to move on to our prepared speech segment. For our prepared speeches, we will be having our speaker, Carolina Ramirez, who will be presenting for us a 5 to 7 minute speech. She will be doing it from the Dynamic Leadership Pathways. Everyone, please help me welcome Carolina Ramirez.
Fellow Toastmasters, today I stand before you to share the enchanting tale of a land that calls travelers with its rugged landscapes, vibrant culture, and a tapestry woven with the threads of history. Chile, my country. Nestled along the southwestern edge of South America, Chile is a country that displays an array of tourist attractions that can captivate even the most seasoned adventurers. Picture yourself standing at the very tip of South America, where the Pacific Ocean meets the Atlantic, gazing in awe at the majestic peaks of the Andes Mountains. This is where Chile offers a playground for nature lovers and thrill seekers alike. One of Chile's most iconic destination is the otherworldly Atacama Desert. Stretching over 1,000 kilometers along the Pacific coast, it's one of the driest places on Earth and has a surreal landscapes, from the lunar-like Valle de la Luna to the vibrant tones of the Atacama Salt Flats. Every corner of this desert whispers tales of ancient civilizations and geological marvels. Experience a trip to the stars in Chile. Constellations, planets, shooting stars, and all kinds of stars are present when night falls. Thanks to the wonderful Chilean skies, the cleanest in the entire southern hemisphere. Take advantage of the more than 300 clear days per year and the scarce light pollution in the north of Chile to contemplate the stars in some of the most powerful scientific observatories in the world.
Uh-oh.
But Chile's attractions don't end with its deserts. Travel south and you'll encounter the pristine beauty of the Lake District. Here, emerald lakes glisten beneath snow-capped volcanoes, inviting visitors to immerse themselves in a world of tranquility and natural splendor. Whether you're hiking through the lush forests of Conguilleo National Park or kayaking on the crystalline waters of Lake Yanquihue, the Lake District is a heaven for outdoor lovers. No exploration of Chile would be complete without going deeper into its rich cultural heritage. Santiago, The bustling capital city is a melting pot of history, art, and cuisine. Wander through the streets of the historic center, where colonial architecture stands in stark contrast to sleek modern buildings. Marvel at the vibrant street art that adorns the walls of neighborhoods like Bella Vista, and indulge yourself with the flavors of Chilean cuisine, from savory empanadas to fresh seafood pulled straight from the Pacific Ocean. And of course, no visit to Chile would be complete without experiencing the awe-inspiring beauty of Patagonia. This remote region at the southern tip of the continent is a playground for adventurers, with its towering glaciers, rugged mountains, and pristine fjords. Trekking through Torres del Paine National Park, with its iconic granite peaks piercing the sky, is a journey that promises to leave an eternal mark on the soul. And let us not forget Easter Island, a remote speck of land in the vastness of the Pacific Ocean, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, home to the enigmatic Moai statues. Easter Island is the testament to the ingenuity of its ancient inhabitants and a reminder of the fragility of our planet's ecosystem. In closing, Chile is a land of contrasts and contradictions, where desert sands meet glacial ice, and ancient traditions blend with modern innovation. It is a country that invites exploration and promises adventures at every turn. So I invite you to embark on your own journey of discovery and immerse yourself in the wonders of Chile. Ms. Toastmaster, back to you.
Everybody help me give a round of applause for that informative, innovative, exciting, enticing speech about Chile by Carolina Ramírez. Today we are in for a treat. We have a guest who will be doing a speech for us today. Now, to keep an open mind and a perspective, she will be going in blindly, so that way we can listen and give her our full attention as we embrace all that she has to say. Everyone, please help me welcome. I saw her, but I don't see her now. Let me check if she has happened to fall off. Toastmaster Sherry Blake. There you are.
Oh, I thought I was number 4. No?
No, we had 2 speakers who were unable to make it due to illness. So you get to be speaker number 2 today.
Okay, just give me one.
I can do Carolina's evaluation in the meantime, if you would like me to, which would allow a couple of minutes.
I had another game.
Good.
And Sherry, I have another game. I have another set of perspectives, but Sherry looks like she's ready. Are you ready, Sherry? Do you want us to play the game to give you the chance to, or do you want to just rip the Band-Aid off and get into it?
No, I'm ready. Okay.
Everyone, let's keep an open mind and a fresh perspective as we listen to our guest, Sherry Blake.
Five to seven.
I did it once again. I ran the New York City Marathon. The second time was the charm. I must admit, though, the marathon has an intimidation factor. 5 boroughs, 5 bridges, and 26.2 miles. That's enough to intimidate anyone. It used to intimidate me, but now it pushes me to no limits. What is something that intimidates you? Madam Toastmaster, and fellow marathoners. The marathon lets me know that I'm capable of accomplishing anything I put my mind to. During the marathon, I often ask myself, why are you doing this? What is the purpose? And why is such intense exercise even necessary? Couldn't a simple stroll in the park suffice? On marathon day, I took on the challenge. I felt like a veteran. The marathon reminds me of a block party. Both events bring together communities. The energy and excitement felt are phenomenal as runners and spectators come together to celebrate and support one another. There's a lot of people, noise, music, and chanting. With over 50,000 people running through the streets of New York City, where their ultimate goal is the finish line in Central Park. Marathon number 2 was such a better experience. The reason why is that I shaved off a little over an hour from my completion time. That's a huge accomplishment in my book. I had goals and wanted to achieve them. Time was a goal. I wanted to finish faster and be in better condition than the previous year. My first year, my marathon buddies told me that as a first-time runner, I should just enjoy the race, have fun, take my time, just worry about finishing, and don't run the first 13 miles too fast. The second time around, I didn't have time for that. I was looking to complete the race before the sun went down. Remember, I had a goal. My faster time was due to having a better pair of sneakers, better sizing, and not letting money intimidate me from giving my feet the best possible care. Another reason is because, well, I ran faster. My overall running pace got faster over time. It made a big difference. I also had better resources during my run, such as energy bars, salt sticks, Tiger Balm, and a better watch. The energy bars gave me a boost. The salt sticks helped with cramping. Tiger Balm helped with achy and sore muscles. And a watch with longer battery life, it helped me to keep better track of my pace, allowing me to slow down or speed up at different intervals. The weather was even better. As much as I hate the cold, I have come to appreciate running in cooler temperatures because it gives me a better performance. At the conclusion of the race, I was filled with joy as I had the wonderful opportunity to meet up with coworkers, friends, and family members at the finish line. They all were volunteers to hand out medals. They weren't interested in running, but wanted to volunteer and participate in some way. As I crossed the finish line, I was looking for my sister, who made it clear that she would do the honors. My coworker tried to put a medal around my neck, and I had to stop him in his tracks. I guess he didn't get the memo. I was filled with joy as my sister lovingly placed a well-deserved medal around my neck. The feeling of accomplishment was truly unforgettable. Once again, I got to celebrate at Tavern on the Green. This time, it was such a better experience. I arrived much earlier and had more time to spend with other runners. I even got my medal engraved, which is a nice perk when you get invited to the tavern. Running has had a profound impact on my life, full of inspiration in numerous ways. I have encouraged my friends and family to take up running. It's had a contagious effect on them. Through my enthusiasm, I have inspired those around me to lace up their running shoes and join me on this spectacular journey. I implore you all to find your charm and do it repeatedly until you get satisfactory results. By not giving up, you may be pleasantly surprised. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Excellent, excellent speech, Sherry. And let me just clarify, are you doing this as a contest speech?
Yes.
So we're going to have a special evaluation and then a round robin. See, it's a good thing we didn't have all the speakers, so we have the extra time to put in and show you the love in evaluating your speech, but you'll hear everyone's perspective later on in the
Thank
meeting.
you. I appreciate that. Okay.
Well, before we go into our table topic speeches, I'm going to ask our timer, Andrew Burns, for the times for our prepared speeches.
Thank you very much. Carolyn is 5 minutes and 5 seconds, and Sherry is 6 minutes and 58 seconds.
Wonderful. That means that they both qualified, and our vote counter will drop a link in the chat. Please make sure that you vote for who you think is the best speaker today. Everybody who is as good as math or in math like me, before we go into table topics, we have one more perspective game. Somebody, anybody, tell me how many pieces of blocks are there on your screen?
7.
7. Kim, 4 or 3. You know what? I'm wondering, Jim, did you add them to get the 7? You're always giving me a fresh perspective, so I have to ask.
4 on the left, 3 on the right.
Lovely. Anybody else have another number they want to throw up there?
My immediate thought was 1, because they are all combined into a single. This is the nature of Mobius strips. It's all one unit.
See, now right there we have a fresh perspective, because that's Zen-like, right? They're all combined into one Mobius strip of a unit. So all is one and one is all, but it could be 7. Again, this is why we keep an open mind in everything that we do. To give us a fresh perspective on table topics, please help me welcome, and I'm speaking it into being, hopefully the future president of online presenters, Marianne Grady.
Well, top of the morning, Graham, and top of the evening to everybody else. Just wanted to let you know that we are going into table topics, and this is where we practice our impromptu speaking skills. I will give you a topic and you respond, and you have 1 to 2 minutes to do so. And this helps us talk off the top of our head with ease. So please be open to a table topic tonight. And I decided, with St. Patrick's Day right around the corner and me being Irish, that I would go with Irish toast. And so I ask, if you don't have one already, get a beverage, have it handy, because one of the toasts that I'm going to read to you is, if you're lucky enough to be Irish, you're lucky enough. Cheers, everybody. Oh, can't see it there, but, and now I'm going to read an Irish toast, But then I'm going to ask you to give a toast. It doesn't have to be Irish, to somebody in particular. So I'd like to start with Mr. Jim Barber. Jim, can you please give a toast to your best friend?
Thank you, Madam Topics Master and my fellow Toastmasters. A toast to my best friend. Here is to my wife of, let's see, 39 years. I say this because not only has she been my friend for 39 years, but she is also in the next room, and there is a distinct possibility that she is listening in on what I am saying. So giving a toast to anybody else would not be a smart thing to do. And that's how I have reached 39 years of reasonably happy marriage, is by not doing things that are particularly stupid. So, yep, it's quite possible. Given that she might be listening, and I would say this even if she weren't listening, she is my best friend. She has always been my best friend. I have many best friends, but she is first among equals. She is my best friend that I do this toast for. Here's to you, my sweetheart, Madam Topics Master.
Cheers. Okay. Now the next Irish toast I'm going to read to you. And oh, by the way, I found these toasts on Toastmasters International site. They listed 10 favorite Irish quotes. So I picked up a few of them and I'm going to just share them with you tonight. So the next one is, may your home always be too small to hold your friends. Kim Leeming, I would like you to give a toast to your mailman who is retiring, or your mail carrier, I should say.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. We live in a very small community and we do not have a mailman. In fact, we do not even have an actual address. So I cannot actually give a toast to a mailman because my mailman is actually a post office box. So here's to our mighty post office box. Oh, you can't see my drink, but it is water. And let's see. So here's to the box. We like you a lot. You always bring our mail to us, which makes us not have to be in a fuss. We love the mail because it's never pale. And it's just a really fun toast, Irish toast, to the post office box that gives us the most. Where's the timer? Did I reach it yet? Okay, so also, we love the Irish holiday. And for that, I must say that, Marianne, go take it away.
Well, I will tell you what my Irish relatives would say. Okay. Thank you so much, Kim. Now, the next toast is, may your blessings outnumber the shamrocks that grow, and may trouble avoid you wherever you go. Samuel, would you like to take a topic tonight?
Whew, that's a tough one. Can you repeat, Marianne? May your blessings.
Okay, I'd like you to give a toast to your favorite teacher.
Yes, okay, my favorite teacher. So I have been an accountant for well over 20 years. And as a young person, as a teenager, one has to ask, how do you decide to become an accountant? That's not a natural path for a lot of teenagers. I was inspired by a teacher in high school named Miss Siegel. And Miss Siegel was almost at retirement age, and she taught me Accountancy 101 as a junior in high school. And I fell in love with the topic. And from there, I went on to business school in New York City, And then, but it's my senior in college, I was actually working for the largest accounting firm in the world, all inspired by my teacher, Miss Siegel, in high school. Yeah, back to you. Marianne.
Well, thank you so much. You're lucky to have run into her along the way, right?
Agreed.
Now, the next toast is to all the days here and after, may they be filled with fond memories, happiness, and laughter. Christine, would you like to take the topic tonight?
Sure, thank you.
I would like to hear a toast to your parents.
Oh, my parents. Thank you very much, Madam Table Topics Master. My parents, both of which who are on the other side, both of which who are Irish. I'll start by saying thank you for getting me here. Thank you for giving me what you gave me to keep me here. And I guess one parent in particular, I want to thank my dad, who was one of those people that you really, really miss because it was one of those people who really, really got you. Not everybody gets everybody, obviously. So when you find someone who does get you and then they're gone, it's a real void. And I think of him often. I miss him often, but I see little signs that remind me of him. And I'm grateful that I see one probably almost every day. So thank them both for getting me here, for keeping me here, and hopefully for being my angel to keep my path going forward safe. Thank you so much.
Oh, heartfelt thoughts. Thank you so much, Christine. Appreciate you participating. Now, the next one is, may your bank account always be bigger than your troubles. But I would like to invite Graham to give a toast tonight. Graham, can you give a toast to our Toastmaster of the evening?
Madam Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is my genuine honour to propose a toast to one of my inspirations. You may be aware that International Women's Day came up last week. And that was a day where we got to celebrate those women who have had an influence in our lives. Joni Laidlaw may not realise the impact that she has had in my life as a Toastmaster. But I, being somebody on the far side of the world from most people here tonight, am always inspired by those who not only are different, but celebrate their differentness. Now, Joni is, as you know, from the Caribbean, and she celebrates that difference in much the same way that, and I'll talk about this when I do my evaluation tonight with Carolina. Carolina celebrates her love of Chile. But the thing about Joni is that she's got me to do things in the background that don't get mentioned up front in a Toastmasters club. She has asked me to take part in competitions, to give workshops, to provide evaluations at clubs literally all around the world. And she's just such a personality that I can't say no. She's one of the reasons I have what I laughingly refer to as my helium arm. I just can't not stick the hand up when she asks. But she inspires me. I hope that she continues to inspire me. I know that she will continue to inspire all of you. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glass and join me in a toast to distinguished Toastmaster Joni Laidlaw. To Joni, my inspiration.
Hear, hear. Now, next quote, or next toast, I should say. May the best day of your past be the worst of your future. I'd like to call Teresa up to the virtual lectern. Now, Teresa, do you have a sibling?
I did. Yeah, he's passed away.
Would you want to give a toast in memoriam?
Yes, I would. And actually, I'm so excited to be, so my brother, Fred, is named after my grandfather, and he has the unfortunate name. However, he is two people tonight have actually brought him to memory. So Samuel, my brother, was a CFO for a big company. He loved his numbers and the safety and security that numbers provided for him. And then he was also a marathon running coach. He taught people how to get their shoes right, to run, to breathe better, to recover. And when he died, he was in the process of running a marathon in every state in the United States. He was traveling around the world every month for work, and he used his travel miles to visit cities and run marathons in those cities. And he had accumulated, I don't know, maybe like 25 or 30 states. And he had accumulated a collection of running medals. And one of the things that we did when he passed is we donated those to an organization that gives medals to kids who are surviving health challenges and long-term health challenges and have recovered from surgeries and that kind of thing. They call it Medal for Metal. And I just thought that was a really great tribute for my brother. And then also, one of the really cool things that happened as a tribute to him when he died is all the people he coached for running got together and they had a race in his honor. And so I'm friends with one of the people that he coached, and she came to the funeral, and it's so fun to see her posting photos of running and finding a love of running. And I think of my brother all the time whenever I see runners now. So thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about him.
Oh, Teresa, that was just beautiful. And I am a person who believes that we, as those who are family members left behind, it's our job to let people remember them with us, and so keep their memory alive. So well done. That was beautiful. Now, let me think. Okay. May you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. I would like to invite Antoinette to give a toast to your pet.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master. Yes, I need to raise this glass and give a toast to my pets. I'm actually raising it to keep it out of their way. I have two cats. If they're here, they're going to be on the table and their paws are going to be inside of the glass as they try to get the liquid out. Although I love them dearly, they are constantly underfoot. They are constantly meowing for food. They are constantly pushing at me. But if they weren't here, I would very much miss them. My oldest one, his name is George. He's 5. The second one is fairly new. He's less than a year, and his name is Fred. So I have Fred and George. Very different cats. George is a short hair. Fred is long hair. I love them dearly. They are my pets. They are my alarm clocks. They are my friends, I guess. And they also help me exercise in the morning. They get me up to exercise. When I'm doing my step, they're under my feet. So they're keeping me balanced. They're keeping me aware. They are telling me to eat. They're constantly meowing. So I have to go get them food. And then I remember to get myself food. Cats are wonderful pets. I would recommend them to everybody. Again, I'm raising this glass. It's a cheer for my cats, and everyone should get one. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Cheers. Now, Madam Toastmaster, should I continue?
Yes, you can. We do have some more time. You can probably do 2 more.
Okay. All righty, let's see. May your home always be too small to hold your friends. I don't know if I read that one already. I can't tell by my crazy notes. But Ruth Ellen, you are the general evaluator tonight, and I would like you to give a toast to your evaluation team.
Where do I start? It's been a long journey. With daylight saving time happening, everybody is really confused. But you're here, you're making the most of being here. And so today, I want to thank you in advance for all that you've done, the active listening skills you have, the amazing tenacity you have to come back again and again, to encourage people and to make sure that they are developing in their speaking and leadership skills. It's pretty awesome that you get to do that. You bless us with your presence time and time and time again, and we get to hear you and learn from you. So raise a glass to yourself because you deserve this and more for just being yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth Ellen. We're looking forward to your segment next. Now I'm giving one last one. May you be in heaven a full half hour before the devil knows you're dead. I would like to call upon Andre, and I know, Andre, you came in late. So what the task is for you to create a toast. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be an Irish toast. It just needs to be a toast. And I'm going to kind of do a repeat here. I would like you to give a toast to your best friend.
Well, thank you, Marianne. What's a wonderful question, for me who arrived late. I would like to raise this glass for everyone who arrives late to their meetings, to everyone who has ever arrived late, but with a style. And what I mean by the style is just when you don't get read as I do, because I just been called up and in caught off guard. You don't try to excuse yourself. You just being brave and accept the whole significance of allowing yourself of being late. And it's nothing strange when that happens. What you can do is just raise this glass for everyone in the world who arrived in time. My fellow online presenters, guests, it's really, really important. Be at the meetings on time. However, if it is not your style, just let yourself be free. As long as you have a little glass with you, you can always arrive and cheer everyone who made an effort and arrived at the meeting on time. At the same time, I toast you, my fellow Toastmasters, and I'll see you soon. Back to you, Marianne.
Cheers, Andre. Well, thank you for letting me share a little bit of my Irish perspective with you. And I am wishing you all a very happy St. Patrick's Day this coming Sunday. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you for that wonderful table topics. And it gave me a chance to get even more caffeinated, and I'm all about more caffeination. Our last of our perspectives will actually seal the deal. Everyone, what do you see?
I see a kangaroo's head.
A donkey.
A horse, a donkey, right?
A seal.
Horse, donkey, a seal. There you go. So it doesn't work. Planting little suggestions does not always work to say seal the deal. See, it didn't work. Took a while for the seal to get there, but we're sealing the deal as we wrap up this special perspective meeting where I was the only one who came late. Yay! Daylight savings time reared its ugly head, but we got a chance to see a different perspective, heard some excellent toasts, and keep an open mind. I will now be turning over control of the meeting to our general evaluator with a special instruction. We get some extra time to do a round robin for Sherry Blake on her speech. So please help me welcome Madam General evaluator, Ruth Ellen.
Thank you. So this is my first time doing the GE role for online presenters. And so we are going to be doing it a little bit different because I'm making it up as I go. In terms of what we're going to be doing next, we need to know who the winner is for the speakers, please. And then we're going to look at the table topic speaker a little bit later as soon as we get those results. For any results, we're going to put in the chat so that we can celebrate whoever has won. But we're all winners because we showed up today. And now we're going to go on to the round robin. Is that right?
Do you want me to
Speaker one
evaluate
first.
Carolina's speech first?
Carolina's speech first.
I don't think I was here for Carolina's speech.
I was.
Okay, so you're going to do it. Yes, that makes
Yes,
sense.
indeed.
Okay, great. So
You
everyone,
want a timing report on the table topics?
yes. If you've got it, could you put it in there? Just tell us or let us know in the chat.
We'll just do it. Jim was 1 minute. Kim was 122. Samuel 55. Christy 57. Graham 206. Trika is 2. Antoinette is 115. Joni is 55. And Andre is 122.
Thank you for that, Andrew. Thank you for the timings. Appreciate that. We will be going on to doing the evaluation. First of all, we have Graham, who's evaluating Carolina.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, particularly, of course, Carolina. Carolina's project today was not to make us want to go to Chile. But I will ask before I begin, has anybody here added Chile to your bucket list after that presentation? I know I have. LATAM is probably going to get a phone call from me sometime fairly soon, working out, how can we fly there? Because that looked so attractive to me. Embark on Your Chilean Adventure was Carolina's presentation, and it was a level 3 project using descriptive language. It was designed to allow Carolina, excuse me to shut that up. It was designed to allow Carolina to practice writing a speech with an emphasis on adding language to increase impact. But she also asked me specifically to look at some things for people for whom English is not their first language. So let me take a look at what Carolina excelled at. First up, she had some beautiful turns of phrase. She painted some incredibly evocative word pictures, assisted by all of those visuals that she presented. And as I say, there are a number of us who think, yeah, I want to go to Chile. There were, however, perhaps too many picturesque phrases. We actually lost some of the phrases that she gave us. At one stage, for example, I was trying to jot down, she spoke about a world of tranquility, and then I couldn't get the rest of it because there was so much there. Sometimes less is more. I would suggest when you're giving a presentation which has lots and lots of descriptive phrases, choose half a dozen or a dozen that are really powerful descriptions and sprinkle them throughout the presentation rather than covering the cake so much that we just don't get to taste the difference between them. The observation that I would make most for Carolina is to inject a little more of her personal pride into this presentation. Now, Carolina obviously loves Chile. I would love to see that come through just a little more. Carolina can be bubbly and effervescent. I felt she was just a little dialed back today because she was so careful to get the words right that the emotion behind the words didn't come through as much as it could. Having said that, I've got to tell you that, as I say, Chile is on my bucket list after your presentations. One of the things that Carolina asked, the speaking in a second language prompts that she asked for were the pace. Was the pace too fast or too slow? Now, this is something that I am often chipped for, speaking too fast. And Carolina can sometimes go just a little fast because her accent, what accent she might say, but her accent can make us have to think about what she's saying. So just a little more slowly would help for those of us for whom we are not used to hearing the Spanish or Hispanic accent. The grammar and word usage, though, I felt was genuinely excellent. There was nothing there that was wrong. The word tense, the gender, the pronouns, that all worked beautifully. People who speak Chinese, for example, often get him and her mixed up. There was none of that happening today. The pronunciation was excellent. A little fast in pace, as I say, but not gratuitously fast, but the pronunciation was excellent. I genuinely thought this was a great presentation. I really enjoyed the word usage. I mean, I'm somebody who loves language, as many of you know, and there were so many beautiful phrases there that I jotted down, some of which I'm going to steal. So well done, Carolina. And as I say, if the intent was to make us, as the title of your speech goes, embark on your Chilean adventure, well, I've started embarking on it, at least in my head, and that's most important. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Topics, General Evaluator, whatever you are. Yes, sorry, Ruth. You.
Thank you, Graham. Fantastic. Now on to Jim, who's evaluating Sherry.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, and thank you for your kind comments that you offered during table topics. I'll try to live up to them as I offer a perspective on Sherry's speech. Sherry.
Excuse me, but I was
yes.
supposed to be evaluating her.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, I'm the second evaluator, and I think after that you can give round robin.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay. I'm
Toastmaster of the
easy.
day. You were aware that I was speech evaluator?
Oh, no, that's not what it said on the agenda. Hence,
okay, never mind, Jim. That's fine.
You know what? The two evaluations work. It helps towards the round robin. Sherry will get a special evaluation. So how about we do this? So Sherry feels extra special. She can get both. And we can also offer tips because fortunately we have time. So ladies before gentlemen, Jim?
Sure.
Well,
All right.
can you finish because I'm doing the timing on Jim, so.
I think the timing's gone out the window.
Yeah, let's just go with Sunny and then with Jim, and then we'll all provide a general evaluation, a round robin evaluation, and then
you
we'll
know
make it up
what?
as we go along.
I apologize. For some reason, I was told I was going to evaluate Sherry. It's fine, but I will send her a written evaluation. Go ahead, Jim. I apologize.
Go for it. You're prepared. Go for it.
No, we want both. No, we want both. Yep. We want to hear both perspectives. Remember, today we're keeping an open mind. It's not the way it's done.
Okay.
But coming in late, it gives her the chance to get both. So go ahead, Sonia, and then after Jim to do this.
All right, USA. The second time was the charm. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and maybe future runners, and especially Sherry. First of all, Sherry, I admire that you entered not one, but 2 marathons. And thank you for the inside perspective on the New York City Marathon. I grew up in New York, but never ran one. Early on, Sherry engaged the audience by asking us, what is something that we want to achieve? So that was helpful because it gave us an opportunity to engage with her. I love the way that she used vocal variety to tell her story of running her second marathon and the impact that it had on her. She described her experience as a runner, using her pitch and her tone, getting advice from her family and coworkers. Don't run the first 13 miles too fast. I also loved her use of gestures. She had a lot of gestures. Most of them enhanced her speech. In particular, at the end of the race, as you said that you were finishing and crossing the finish line. And Sherry, when you received the medal, that was a highlight for me. And then you talked about getting invited to the famous restaurant Tavern on the Green, and that was awesome. So what could Sherry do to take her speech to the next level? I have 2 recommendations. Your delivery was really good. I would have loved if perhaps you could use more variety when you were describing your actual time running. I wanted to feel after those first 13 miles. I don't know, perhaps strategic pauses, maybe taking some breaths so that the audience, could experience while you were running, especially after you got past those 13 miles. And you shared the impact running had on your life. That was great. You tied it in to the call to action. So my second recommendation would be perhaps to work on that part, because I felt like it could have been a little stronger about asking us not to give up. And if you can work on that, I believe it would be much more impactful. So in summary, Sherry, oh, and one more thing, and that was, you mentioned the Tavern on the Green, but not everyone may know about that famous, hard to get in restaurant. So you may have to add maybe just one word, famous, and then at least people will know that it has something to do with particular people getting in. In summary, Sherry, if you use your vocal variety, you work on your story structure, your call to action, and you continue to use that great storytelling, I believe when you have your future speeches, the first time wasn't the charm, but the second time was, and I believe the future speeches will inspire and continue to charm your audience. General Evaluator.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sonny, Dr. Sonny. We are now going to go over to Jim to also give a evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Sherry, I'll make this quick so that we have time for the open evaluation after this. It was obvious not only that this was a contest speech, but this was a winning contest speech. You were so good. And I think you've got a very, very good shot at taking this even further. Let me briefly tell you why. Number one, you were called on when you weren't expecting to. Now, this is not part of the contest, but you rolled with the punches, you didn't let it throw you, and if you can pull off what you did tonight when you weren't expecting it, you're going to be fabulous when you are ready, when everything is going according to plan. So that was great. As Sonny indicated, your vocal variety is excellent. Your gestures, wonderful. Your gestures were fluid. They were congruent with what you were saying. Everything worked. Your use of the pause, you are a master of the use of pause. Everything worked, I would say. Almost everything worked visually. Everything worked vocally. I love the structure of your speech. It was very well written. Excellent. I have one suggestion for you. Let's see if I can pull it up here. And it regards what I call your neutral position. Your neutral position is where you go when you're not making any gestures. And your neutral position is this. You do that sort of thing, which is, there's not a problem with that, except when it's your neutral position, you go to it an awful lot. So I would like to either find a different neutral position, maybe your hands down by your side or something like that, or have several neutral positions so it's not quite so obvious when you go to that every time. But frankly, that's the only suggestion I have, what is for a winning contest speech, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you're going to do at Division. Back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you, Graham. Now we are going to go do a round robin. That means everyone that wants to contribute and give Sherry some really great feedback can do so now. I guess the best way to do that is just looking at whoever's got their hands raised. On my screen, I see Graham at the moment. Graham, go for it.
Question, if I can, Sherry, is this presentation going to be will you be delivering it online, or will you be in room for this presentation?
Division will be delivered online. If I make it to the district, that will be in person.
All right. So for the online, I love the gestures and I love the way that you used this space really well. I like the leaning forward. when you're in a larger environment, you know this, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Use your stage for past, for present, for future, for my first run, my second run, what I want you to do from here. So use the environment, use the stage space when you're doing it at district, because I'm quite confident that you will get past division with this. That was an excellent presentation. It was inspiring. And for this environment, the gestures were perfect. Well done.
Fantastic. Thank you, Graham. Christine.
Thank you very much. First time, obviously, I've heard you speak. I was very impressed, and I agree with previous speaker that I think you'll do very well. You have the right, I would say, tone and eye contact and confidence. And I agree with the person who mentioned, rough start, weird kind of intro, weird timing for you, what you weren't expecting it, and you did a great job. And that can happen in real life for sure. I mean, we've been to contests, I'm sure many of us, where it's like, oh, sorry, you thought you were speaking fifth, you're up first. And that's how it goes. My only comment would be, I actually thought you were going to district with it. I thought you had said you had already won division. So my only comment would be about the message, in that, ultimately this is to 2,000 to 3,000 people, right? International, big stage. So do you really expect 2,000 people to start running? Maybe you do. Maybe that really is your message. You really want everyone on the planet to start running. Maybe that's your message. Or maybe your message is, whatever your goal is to accomplish, this was my goal. This is how I did it. What is your goal? You could use the same steps. So maybe the step was to plan, to have, I don't know what you would call them, the aids. When you talked about your watch, you talked about your salt sticks or whatever it was. Like, you had different steps sort of to how you would. One person to support you. You mentioned your sister. Maybe a reward at the end, having that medal, whatever it is. And I don't want to, I know when you start looking for feedback, you get a lot of feedback and you don't want to have to rewrite your whole speech. But I'm just thinking of bigger picture, like, think of speaking to 2,000 people. And what is your message? That would be my feedback. But I think you did really good, and I'm confident you'll definitely win next level. Congratulations.
Thank you, Christine. Tracer.
Sherry, I loved your speech. And one of the things that Christine brought up about that last piece about, do you really want everybody to take up running? Maybe, I can see that as a possibility for 2,000 people to take up running. But if you were going to entertain her comment, one of the things that I thought of, a little thought bubble, was to take the question that you ask in the beginning and tie it to the thing at the end, so that they match, right? So like, what is your dream? Here's your dream. What are you doing about it? So almost like structure wise, like, how are you breaking it down? So anyway, just a thought about that. And then the other thing that I've really been enjoying is thinking about when you watch the replay of the video, like if you watch this video as like game tape, turn the sound off and watch your gestures. There was this place where you would like move over to this side and then this side, and it didn't really flow as well as I might have liked it to flow for you. So, and you'll notice that when you watch the replay, if you take the sound off and like, what's happening there? So anyway, but great job. I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you, Tracer. Andrew, we're running short on time, but you're the timekeeper, so you're going to go next after that as well. So please go ahead.
Okay, I'll try to make this relatively short. I liked your speech, Sherry, and you had a call to action for everyone to start running, but it might have been more engaging if you started off with maybe a line or two about the impact on their lives of why they should be running. Just in the last 2 weeks, you had both the AMA and American Cardiology Association doing releases of reports which talked about how running and walking has increased a person's life expectancy and reduced the number of heart attacks and strokes and things of that nature. So having a few facts at the beginning of why this is important for them to start walking, running, is a way of saving their lives. And you can start off the speech by saying, I can save your life. That's a grabber. It's an attention grabber. But think about it. Your speech was overall very well received and I enjoyed it. But just think about it, having a real hook when the speech comes forward with some statements like that might be very effective.
Fantastic. Thank you all. Now we're going to go into the timekeeper's report. Over to you, Andrew.
And thank you, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback.
Graham 224 and Sunny 303. Both qualified.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And I
Now
see the
we're gonna-
evaluator thing is in the chat for those that haven't voted.
Fantastic. Now I'm going to go over to the R counter report. So over to you, please, Samuel.
Yes, hi. I'm really inspired by the speakers tonight. This gives me definitely a target to shoot for as a speaker. In terms of the counters, I think everyone did excellent. There were just two presenters that I would like to point out that used a few filler words like ums and or so's, and that was Kim speaking about the mailman. And in that you said some filler words like ums and so's, and then Teresa, same with you. There were some ums in there as well. So just something to make note of. I use them all the time too, so I'm just humbly passing the feedback over.
Thank you for your report, Samuel. We are now going to head over to the grammarian, Kim's report.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Ruth Ellen. Okay, so I have a few things here. So on the word perspective, the winner of the night by far is Joni. I think she used it 2,000 or 3,000 times. So you win on the most use of the day of the word of the day. Carolina, oh my gosh, you had some great grammarian descriptive eternal mark on us all, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, and ancient traditions blend with current something or other. I didn't get it written down, but it was wonderful. I loved your speech. I loved your use of the English language. And I know it's not your first language, but it was wonderful. Sherry, the feeling of accomplishment was truly unforgettable. Running had a profound impact on my life. Just wonderful uses of the words. Graham, Joni Layla may not realize the impact she's had on my life. Someone who celebrates their differentness. That's so my motto in life. Love that. Okay, and also helium arm. Can't stop from my arm going up to raise my hand for Joni. Awesome. And Christine and Teresa, thank you so much for memorializing your loved ones. And the medal for metal was such a beautiful way of saying that. And just that was very touching. Graham, sprinkle the metaphors on something or other was really cool. And I just cannot write quick enough. And so many beautiful phrases, some of which I'm planning to steal. Very cool. And then Jim Barber, perspective on Sherry's speech, master of the use of pause. Very cool. And Andy, I can save your life. That's an attention grabber. Absolutely it is. So back to you, General Evaluator.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kim. So I'm going to give my G report. And so a General Evaluator's report is to basically give you an oversight of all the people that have taken part in the meeting that haven't been evaluated yet. So I'm going to do my best because we are short on time and I want to be concise. So I'm going to start with Graham, who evaluated Carolina. So really great at excelling, using the word excelled. It's a beautiful word and it helps the speaker to remember actually they are progressing. I like that you gave practical ways of Carolina looking at ways to enhance her speech. You used gestures, which is really great example of that piece, and you listened and you gave the presenter a good way to leave the speech with a high. And so the only comment I would add to that is perhaps giving more thought around, okay, how can I structure this in a way that's going to make sure that these are all the recommendations? These are the these are the recommendations, and these are the things that I think would even enhance it a bit more, just to give that structure so Carolina can take note of those, because you gave some really great praise that will be really helpful. But other than that, I think you are excellent as an evaluator. You left the speaker on a high, and that is one of the most important things you can do. So thank you, Graham. Jim? Actually, I'm gonna go for Sunny. Gonna go for Sunny and Jim. So we know today was special. Sherry got to have great evaluators across the board. And I love the fact that when Dr. Sunny spoke, there was a piece around because might feel like a filler word, but actually when you hear the word because, it gives you the intention as to why something has happened. When Sherry talked about a specific part of her speech, there was a benefit. And Sunny wanted to understand how that benefited us as listeners. Really important. I love the fact that Dr. Sunny used love as well, because that is so reinforcing. Again, the only thing that I would mention is around, there was 2 recommendations. There was and everything else was praised, which was great. Again, if you're going to say these are my 2 recommendations, these are my 2 things I absolutely adored, or 3 things I absolutely adored, just so that you can give that framework consistency. But such a great evaluator, such great points noted. Thank you for that evaluation. Jim, it was obvious. Love that. It was obvious that this is not only a contest speech, but a winning one. Amazing words, amazing way to reinforce somebody's speaking. I love the fact that you gave suggestions. You had the visual. Everyone's now, their game is going to be like, I'm going to have a visual for my evaluations. So thank you for that. I like that you gave suggestions, and you gave by example. So again, it was just more so, hey, is there other visuals you can add in? I'm going to challenge you in that way. Are there other visuals you can add in? The things that you thought was good, things that could be improved, etc. Amazing insights, again, from other people that didn't see the things. So again, really great at active listening. Now I'm going to speak around the round robin. Everyone who got to add, I'm not going to go specifically to you all, but fantastic work at observing certain things that Sherry did. That was really great, and that you would want to see enhanced. Really, really thoughtful words of appreciation, but also observations. Samuel, as the R counter, I love the fact that you are, again, actively listening, and that's the whole point of doing this piece. Maybe a piece around why and R and all the pieces don't always help us when we're speaking. You might have done it at the beginning, because that's what we do anyway, right? You introduce what the point is, but just to reinforce that messaging as to why ums and ahs, filler words, aren't as effective, and what we could do to replace those words. For example, pausing. Grammarian, but going back to just reinforcing what you've done, Samuel, the very fact that you're very concise and you was very specific and effective, appreciate it. And I think that's really helpful as well. Grammarian Kim, I love the fact that you took some of those words and said, and then gave it back to us, but then also accelerated those. What I would like to see next time as a challenge is just to explain why those words impacted you so much. Why was that important? Why is that important for us to hear and learn and reinforce? I love the fact that you took the time, though, to take every word and then elevate it to another level. So thank you so much for doing that and being grammarian. Something that I definitely will gonna do as well. And then I think, have I covered everyone? Oh, am I missing anyone? Let me know. First time trying to get all of this in. Yes, I've done it. Okay, cool. So now we're going to talk about the voters. Who won? We all won, but who won what and why? So going back to the vote counter, Carolina. Thank you.
The winners, the best evaluator is Graham Kern. Best table topics speaker, Teresa. And best prepared speaker, Sherry Blake. Congratulations to the winners.
Fantastic. I'm going to hand it back over to the Toastmaster. Thank you so much, Joni. Giving you the button really quickly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth Ellen. Today was all about keeping an open mind. Remember, Toastmasters is where we fail forward, and you never know. You might find some unusual things that you never knew that you were capable of doing, like trying to get your hand from a cat, or getting a meeting late, but still getting through it, or learning that daylight savings time and why everyone has a heart attack, or most heart attacks occur on that change. Overall, though, we had toasts. We had great evaluations. We had wonderful speeches, and we got to keep an open mind. With that, I return control of the virtual space to Graham Carnes, who is our acting president, but our vice president education.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, everybody. We are behind time, but I am going to ask for guest comments, and I'll start with Jandra. How did you find today's meeting? Did you enjoy the meeting today?
Good evening, everyone, once again. I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting. I'm sorry I couldn't be on video because of some issue on the side, but I still enjoyed it. And I found the round robin method to be quite new for evaluation, and I really believe it helps the speaker to improve themselves. Thank you.
Thank you for your contributions, and we'd love to see you again. Sylvia, I don't think I had a chance to say hello to you at the beginning of the meeting. How did you find that much of the meeting that you saw?
Hi. Well, very interesting. I didn't know about the dynamic of the Toastmaster, but I was on a conference and a workshop at my local library, and they recommend this kind of activity. So I found this very interesting.
Well, thank you for coming along, and you're welcome along again next week, and you can see more of us. But thank you for coming. Antoinette, you must be a little cool in Toronto at the moment, but did we warm you up in our meeting tonight?
Yeah, it was a very full meeting. There was a lot of information that was given, and yeah, it was enjoyable. So I'm glad that I was able to come out and definitely hear Sherry's contest speech. I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad I was here for this meeting. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming along, and you're welcome to come to next week's meeting, which will be a more traditional meeting. I know that every Toastmasters club has a different style, and we'd love you to experience more of ours. The same, of course, applies to you, Christine. How did you find tonight's meeting?
Thank you very much. I appreciated it. Again, I agree. Great to hear the speeches. My one point of feedback would just be, I find it really distracting when someone's speaking and people are chatting. So I will say I was listening to Sherry's speech, and kind of not long after she started, a message came up, and it took me right out of the speech. And then as I started to get back in, another message came up, and basically I missed the middle of her speech. So extra kudos to Sherry for, I mean, she had a lot of obstacles because those would have been popping up for her too. So I give her a lot of kudos for going through, and just some feedback. And any Toastmaster, any meeting you're on when someone's speaking, it's very distracting if you're having a whole chat while it's going on.
All right, that's good feedback, and we might mention that for our watcher for our next meeting to keep an eye out for that, not chatting while people are actually speaking. Thank you for that. I'll pass that on. Sherry, strictly speaking, you're still a guest, although I'm hoping that you'll become one of our members. How did we find the meeting?
Hi, thank you so much. Yes, I am looking forward to becoming a member. I do want to join. The meeting went well. I mean, thank you so much for allowing me to deliver a speech, even though I'm not a member. So I do appreciate, well, not a member of this club. So I do appreciate that. The meeting went well as usual, and I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming along. Thank you for presenting, and good luck at Division. Tracer, officially you're a future member. I know that, but we haven't voted on you yet, I don't think.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm so glad to join everybody. Thank you so much. I was looking for a more elevated group that offered really great feedback, and this just really warms my heart. Ruth Ellen, I loved your summary at the end. I took so many notes. I was like, oh, she's so good. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate being in good company, and thank you so much.
Fabulous. Hope we'll see you again next week. And Sam, a guest and an R counter, and a really good R counter too. Your observations?
Yeah, thanks, Graham. This is my second time attending this meeting, and better than the first time. I'm even more inspired. What I do really enjoy about the group here is there seems to be a good rapport amongst the members, and I think this is something great that you have continued to develop and encourage your members to attend and join. So thanks for the invitation once again.
Thank you. Well, thank you to all of your guests for your comments. They warm our hearts and they give us something to take away, which is good. Thank you also to all of our members. Now, we are well behind time. We're actually a quarter of an hour behind time, but I don't care because I'm just going to do a very brief look at our next meeting. Now, I have put myself down for Toastmaster. Carolina is down to do a tip of the day.